look, here's the problem with Nick Bosa. When you lose a guy like that, Carlos and JLC, offensive game plan for a guy like number 97. They're thinking, well, we can't really run over there. If we try to run our play action passes and roll out to Bosa's side, that may cause some trouble for us. So you see the double team right there, a lot of weight on that right leg as he got doubled by Beachum and Evan Brown, the left guard for the Arizona Cardinals. Just a tough blow on a really harmless play in which the Niners forced the Cardinals to punt. But how teams game plan for the Niners defense is going to be really interesting to see moving forward here, Carlos, because you have to game plan for 97. You put them in the same boat of a TJ Watt, of a Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons. You game plan for guys like that. So now, when you know that Nick Bosa is taking out double teams, you're not going to see it anymore. Now Michael Williams is like, boy, there's more traffic coming my way. Bryce Huff, there's more traffic coming my way. So that will be something to look forward to over the next month, how teams go attack the 49ers defense, knowing that number 97 is not going to be there.
Yeah, and Shanahan said they always look at trades. I think it's early in the season. We're going to head into week 4. But I do think if this team, in a couple of weeks from now, as we approach trade deadline in October, if they're leading the pack in the NFC West, if you're ahead in the division, and the NFC seems wide open with the Eagles having up and downs, with the Buccaneers are 3-0, but their point differential is only +6. It could be a wide open NFC. I can see them pulling the trigger, perhaps, Bonta, on a guy like Trey Hendrickson, who is in a 1-year deal with the Bengals, $29 million. I know it's a lot of money, but he might become a high-end kind of rental to replace Nick Bosa on a team that might find itself healthy towards the end of the season.
And the Bengals may be out of it, right? No Joe Burrow over the next couple months. So what are they playing for? Mike Brown had a long negotiation with Trey Hendrickson. He almost dealt him. He took phone calls on trading Trey Hendrickson. And we know a team like Philadelphia was intrigued. The Green Bay Packers are calling about Trey Hendrickson. And keep in mind here, JLC, you would know the numbers too. Niners have $25 million in cap space. By the time they make a deal, whether a deal comes to fruition or not, that contract for Trey Hendrickson or a Kayvon Thibodeau or whoever else is out there will be prorated. So you could go out there and deal for whatever you want to deal with. And we know this about the 49ers. They will and deal. They will always be aggressive, looking to see what's happening. And the key thing you said, Carlos, the NFC is wide open right now. And the Niners feel like they have an offense that's going to gain reinforcements. They have a young defense that's going to be better in November as opposed to right now. So who knows what's on the table? But that's why I would caution JLC for fans to say, oh, man, the season's over. No, we're a long way away knowing how John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan do business.
I think it's a combination of both a collective effort from that entire defensive line to try to replace an unreplaceable player in Nick Bosa. But if I had to take one player who I think is in a very good spot now to shine, to show up and continue his improvement that he's shown throughout preseason and specifically in game 2, it's Bryce Huff. I mean, this guy was brought here as a premier edge rusher to either back up Nick Bosa or play in different packages. We saw how he ended the game down in New Orleans with a trifecta. Now it's the chance for him, Bonta, to perhaps step up and be that. He's not no one's Nick Bosa. There are a few Myles Garrett's out there, TJ Watts, Nick Bosa's, Aiden Hutchinson's, Trey Hendrickson's. They're few and far between, but maybe Bryce Huff has this opening to become something bigger and better for the 49ers.
Yeah, he'll have to, right? I mean, but something I mentioned earlier, where when you're playing with the Nick Bosa, Nick Bosa is going to draw a lot of attention, whether it's chips by the tight ends, fullbacks, halfbacks, double teams, and that allows Bryce Huff to go single coverage one-on-one with the right tackle or left tackle, and he can get off the ball. Now will Bryce Huff see a lot more double teams knowing that Nick Bosa's out, and he's probably the most elite edge rusher on his football team right now. Michael Williams is still raw in that department. Sam Elkawanu is a role player in that department who could also rush the passer, but he's not going to play 50 to 60 snaps. We're going to play him into certain packages here. So how will they attack Bryce Huff offensively now that Nick Bosa's not here? And that's what we'll have to see. Will he see more doubles, triples, chips, whatever it is? So I think Bryce Huff has a great opportunity here, JLC. But again, how much attention now will offenses pay towards number 47, Bryce Huff?
I mean, the thing that Robert Saleh has up his sleeve is the fact that Upton Stout can go in and do the blitzing work. He's got D. Winters who can blitz. Fred Warner likes to get in there as well. I mean, all those guys like to get their nose dirty, get in there. So to be able to put together a package so it's not all the attention on Bryce Huff, he's going to mix it up. He's going to give everybody their opportunities. And that's where you think, okay, the biggest acquisition of the offseason for the 49ers was really Robert Saleh. I mean, he's
Yep.
putting everybody in the best position to win, and you're seeing already, and it's only week 3.